Hey guys, Twelve58 here. We're going to get into another frequently asked questions session. It means we're going to go 3 comments from 3 videos. I don't know what they say, and I'm going to do my best to respond to your topics of interest. This is important to me because I actually want to hear dissenting opinions. They might help me better understand the issues. Also, if I respond to you, maybe I can either educate yourself or the community in a broader sense. So I hope that these are valuable. If they are, let me know in the comments. Drop your comments with your IGN so I can say thank you if I use your question or comment. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dwayne Cunningham. I go by Twelve58, and you can just call me 12. This is a good one. This is a good place to start. This will not be our comment. No content related. Is Gary Oldman perhaps your older brother? That's a classic. Nick, you're either the same person or you've had the same idea as somebody else from a previous, like, I'm talking like 2 years ago on the channel. Somebody dropped a comment that, like, cut deep, Gary Oldman. Fifth element. Let me see. There he is right there. Somebody dropped a comment saying something about how this is what I look like. And when I first read that comment, guys, I was howling with laughter. I never thought about that before in my life. But Fifth Element's an amazing movie. Gary Oldman's an amazing actor, and it's an honor to be compared in any sense to that man. But let's get a real question over here. Smoke Lord DNA, he goes, all I have to say is Aggie's comments. I really wish he'd drop the Hopium attitude in relation to business finances. This is okay. We got some meat here. Frankly, it scares me. It gives me the impression that he lives in crypto la la land and is not preparing for the worst case scenarios. To bank your whole company's future on that viewpoint that the bear market is over is just foolish. And they should be doing everything possible to shore up their finances in the case that Bitcoin drops another 70% and then wouldn't take SPL with it. It's reckless, in my opinion. They planned around false user numbers inflated by bots, but they knew this too, but banked on bots participating in the economy instead of just leeching, and the opposite happened. Could you imagine what the game would be like if they cracked down on bots and stuff when people started bringing it up like 2 years ago? We'd be in a much better spot. But I really only worry about them being prepared for another big dump, and it looks like they are not. Hope I'm wrong, because if they are put out of business, our assets go to zero immediately. Okay, so there's a ton here. Smoke Lord, thank you for the comment. And I should frame a reference. We don't need too much context here. Clearly, you understand what Smoke's asking about, but he commented on a video where I spoke with Aggroed, and I specifically asked them, like, you know, why haven't they created ways for us to say thank you, to donate crypto? Many projects do that. They create YouTube content for us to enjoy, and you would think that it would be someone might just go ahead and open a line, like create buy me a coffee, or, you know, there's a dozen apps you could set up and link to their channel, and then we could just say thank you in different ways. And Aggroed's answer was pretty much, you know, don't give us money for no reason, give us money for quality products, we're gonna be fine. Smoke is concerned, as many people are, so let's get into it. I want to address specifically Smoke Lord's critiques or concerns as best I can. Of course, I don't have a behind the scenes access to the money, but let's try to. So first and foremost, I want to say you're concerned about Aggroed's Hopium attitude, which is probably fair. You know, Aggroed, I think himself would admit, he is in a fraction of the market's, you know, the attitude here within cryptocurrency today is bearish. We're going to go lower. People are thinking $12,000 for Bitcoin. You talk about drop another 70%. Like, that you're one of those people, I guess. And most people are in your camp. Here's the thing. Usually most people are wrong. I can't prove to you you're wrong. I can't, you know what I mean? You can say, I'm just being Hopium, but just how many times has the crowd been right? That's just one thing I want to put on the table and walk away. Because I can't prove to you I'm right. That's a part of where Aggroed's coming from. And he would admit that it is super rare. Most people don't feel that way. He's in a board of people that represent the economy and the economics in the company Splinterlands. And that board he said, if you want, go listen to Aggroed's. It's called Around Pretoria. It's an hour-long live event where he and his wife have special guests. They just spoke today, which is September 19th. You can go watch him talk about this, and he says how he's been sharing with the board for months now that he thinks there's another leg up coming, and he speaks about how he's been learning technical analysis and how he feels that's like his call. Now, is he wrong? You know, you would think, or it seems like you think he's wrong. There's the element of, is he wrong or right? And then separately, there's the conversation of, even if he's right, it's a little reckless. That's a fair argument. Even if he's right, you might argue it's still reckless. And so we'll get there. But just first and foremost, I tend to lean towards thinking he's correct about these things in terms of there probably will be. Bitcoin held at 24,700. According to the people that I listen to, and again, I am no TA guy, but I'm saying there is a minority of very clear, very well articulated, well defended, and people who have great resumes of a history of sort of calling tops and bottoms, who are telling us 24/7 holding was a big deal. And that we are now we've climbed up about 10% since. Again, I don't want to convince you. Let's move on from that point, because we might just go around a bush on like, is it going to be bearish? Is it going to be bullish? Because you make a bigger point, which is that second point, which is even if it is going to be bullish in the near future, it's kind of reckless that you would have so much value. You don't say it exactly this way, but you talk about, to bank your whole company's future on the viewpoint that the bear market is over is frankly foolish. And I would say that is a true statement, but I don't think that's fair representation of what they've done. And you can say they shouldn't have any money in crypto. And that would be the line you would have to draw to, because they don't have all of the whole company's future wrapped up in crypto. Last we heard, and this is not necessarily shared regularly because they don't have to share it, because we're not shareholders. They don't have to report to us what they've done with X, Y, or Z, their dollars and cents. But they did at one point share something like half of their company's savings is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you imagine 25% and 25%, and that was when Bitcoin was around $15,000, 16, whatever it got down to, and things were really panicking around the layoff time. And now we're at $26,000. That's been a major boon, not a trouble, not a difficulty. And then you come in and say, well, what if it drops another 70%? Man, if crypto drops 70% from here, I think we have bigger fish to fry than just like a hiccup for a game. I actually think that might be indicative of massive Great Depression situations. Like, I really, because I actually am one of the few, maybe, I don't know if this has become more of a minority or a majority viewpoint, but it seems to me that when the Dow Jones is roaring to the upside, when the major equities markets are soaring, so is Bitcoin. And I don't see a disconnect any longer. Maybe at one point in the past there was, but I don't see that any longer. And my reason I'm bringing that up is because if you're talking 70% down, man, I think we have bigger fish to fry. I think we're talking Great Depression. I think job losses, houses are being repossessed, the markets are melting down. That's a massive deal. And so I hope you're wrong, first of all. Second of all, I think you're wrong. It's not just, there's like a thoughtful, I think, process I've come to. It's not just a hope. And then lastly, you're still right in some sense about they should never bet their whole company's future on that. But I think, again, they haven't. Even in my example, half of it was in crypto, half of it was in cash. And then of the cash, actually, I think it was half of it was in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then some amount of it was in USDT or whatever, and then USD. And so, I mean, that was enough runway for, a long time then, but Bitcoin's gone up. And so, I don't know. I mean, you make a whole separate argument on bots. We can't touch that here. It's too much. You make, you know what I mean? There's a whole separate conversation in that. I think I just got to finish by saying, I hear you in saying that it is reckless for them to have, in some sense, your point is they shouldn't have any crypto. That is where your thinking would have to go if you took it to the nth degree, because you're talking about it being reckless. You're talking about the major fluctuations of possible within Bitcoin. And I'm saying, if that's how you feel, then I don't know that, like, these guys with this team, you're never gonna, this viewpoint's never gonna scratch the surface with these guys. And I think, like it or hate it, like, that's who Aggroed and Matt are. They are guys who, Matt made a fortune on Ethereum. Bitcoin, Aggroed, rode the Bitcoin wave early on. I don't know how early, but you can glean some of that by watching around Pretoria. And my point is, these guys believe in this stuff. So to bring the argument that, like, at this moment, after what's that expression? You dance with the girl you brought. And in some sense, that's what they're doing. Bitcoin brought them to the dance, and now they're going to just dance with that. They're going to take their chances with that token, and Ethereum too, as well. And I think it really is a like it or hate it situation. That's who they are. And I don't think we should be surprised by that, because they've said this for, I want to say, years. Because I was at least a year ago that they shared the information that I just shared with you with respect to the portfolio distribution. And one last point. I mentioned earlier, there's a board of directors that the company is accountable to. Aggroed is on that board. He's not the only voice on that board. If they disagreed with you firmly, Aggroed would be overruled, period. But there's a plethora of voices at that table that at this moment in time and up till this moment have disagreed with you, Smoke Lord, and have agreed with Aggroed and the distribution of resources, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatever else they carry as a safety net. Like it or hate it, the men who made, and women who made, this blockchain-based video game that rewards you for your time and attention, they believe in Bitcoin and Ethereum. They believe in the future prosperity that it's going to offer, and they don't think it's going to go down zero. And 70% from here would be such a zero. Like, I mean, that would be such a massive L for the entire crypto market. There isn't, I don't know that you could communicate to me, and maybe you can drop a comment on this video if you think there's something I'm missing here. But I just don't know that you would be able to, or anyone would be able to articulate how we go down 70% from this moment, and that's not like a Great Depression. And if it is, we wouldn't be worried about this, man. Like, that's not what I see happening. But if it was, we'd have bigger fish to fry. Thanks for the amazing comment, Smoke. I appreciate you, dude. And I see the tension you're expressing. It's not that I exactly disagree with your concern. I do maybe disagree with some of your expectations, but I don't disagree with your concern. I just would say, again, one last time, these people, this board, these developers, they're not going to hear that, because Bitcoin and Ethereum brought them this far. They're not going to start doubting it now. To hold USD, to try and ride the waves, that's not who made this. And I just can't see us, unless there's a total change in leadership. I can't ever imagine them kind of taking the advice that would come out of this conversation, which I assume would be to liquidate crypto and just sit on USD so you're ready. That's not who we're dealing with here. So thank you, Smoke. I appreciate you. Cyberblock, don't like crypto, pack your bags and leave. Smoke likes crypto. He's in here. He's invested. He's just trying to be just that abundance of caution. But like I said earlier, like I started the whole conversation, you know what? You, Smoke Lord, you're in the majority here. Most people think like you. And when that happens, I always go, wait a second, why is everybody on my side here? Can I rethink some of this? For me, that's a bull flag. Let's carry on. Gathering, same video though. I want to read your thing here, Gathering, but same video. We'll grab a different comment. Oh, wow. An old school video. Look at this one. 1258 with Old Man. 1 year later, Old Man QT has deleted anything having to do with Splinterlands from his channel. It's now completely in Arabic and has to do with stocks. I think hustler indeed. These guys hype and shill so they can dump on you. Randy, I'm assuming you're referring, you seem to be referring to Old Man being like disappearing off of the Splinterlands radar, which is one of the beauties of what Splinterlands can do for you. It's always funny and ironic to me when someone comes at Splinterlands with like with a snark or a sarcasm, and the suggestion is that, you know, people could just sell their assets. Don't you know how problematic that is? And I think to myself, whoa, like you don't understand the revolutionary opportunity in front of you right now. First thing I want to say to you, like the only reason Splinterlands has any cause for concern or interest or intrigue, if it has any, and you, Randy, you might say, nope, it's garbage, I hate it, never going to touch it, fine. But if it has merit or deserves attention from an audience, and in my opinion, of course it does, it's out of a posture, it's out of a place of it offering something totally unique, which is an actual reward for your time and attention, a financial compensation for your time and attention. You play the game and you receive SPS. You play the game and you receive cards. Those cards and SPS are worth something. They carry a value. That value actually can be utilized and leveraged to get more of the assets, where you can climb higher and higher and get more and more rewards. Or maybe you can be leveraged into different things, like maybe playing Splinterforge and getting access to other tokens there. So I don't want to convince you, Randy, but the first part of your comment is like, it's actually really great if a guy like Old Man wants to walk, and does. And he was a big investor in this, but for whatever reason decides to leave. And that's actually, that should give us confidence in that someone can leave. You know, that's a good thing, man. Like, because one day, if you were ever to invest in this, you might want to leave. You get kids, you get busy, you know, you move, whatever, you get sick of the game. You should love that someone was able to liquidate. And the second part is, you seem to be implying that these guys hype and shill so they can dump on you, meaning like anyone listening to you. But that would imply me, who's still here creating content daily, loving this game and experience, talking with people who love and enjoy this game and experience, right? You can look at my recent content. It's like videos with Steve, videos with Baby Mega, videos with Walking Keys, with Gank, with Gathering the Magic, with, you know, there are tons of videos on my channel alone from different content creators, but also people who just love this game, and they don't feel the way you do. So I don't know if you got roasted in the last bull market. I don't know if you've never really touched it and you just kind of thought it'd be funny to, you know, call out Old Man who wanted to move out. But man, it's good if people can move along, and it's actually indicative of the strength of this, that there are still community members that are still hanging out and still playing it. Bear markets are tough. People walk. But man, there are 5,000 to 10,000 people who are playing this every day and loving it and accumulating assets and rewards for their time and effort. And I know that because there are about 5,500 active accounts that hold one plot of land or more on that account. And so if not every active player, you would never split them onto multiple accounts really. So it makes sense that those are at least 5,500 active accounts. And then you have to think some number of players don't have any plots of land. And so that's where we get 5,000 to 10,000. So you think that's small, Dwayne, it's nothing. No one's playing this game. Guys, this used to be 100 to 300 people playing daily. And so we've grown exponentially, and yet we're so small. And I looked at it as an opportunity and as potential. Someone like Randy looks at it in a negative light, and maybe you do too. And I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you, you're off base if you're thinking that it's negative that people sold or can sell. And you're off base if you think that the majority of people who were here have left. I think the true players have not gone anywhere. In fact, we've grown. There have been some tens of thousands of bot accounts that were grinding in bronze. Good riddance, as Gank would say. Good riddance. So let's move on. But Randy, thanks for the comment. I definitely disagree though. Okay. Harry Larry McNary. First of all, cool. So I want to read both these because they're both from him. He goes, Dwayne, love your content. Really like you taking questions and comments. It really helps educate community and expand the game knowledge. If I have a topic, if you would like, or if you would want to give your thoughts on it. I keep hearing comments on Battle Pass for Splinterlands. I have no clue what this is. What do you think this is? And what are your pros and cons? Once again, I love your content. Thank you. God bless. Okay. Quick question, and we can probably touch this one too, Harry. So thank you for the comment. Appreciate you. You've been around for a long time. Thank you for the comment. The comment, the Battle Pass is this idea that when you play a game you like, you have access to play like a basic, you play in Splinterlands and you can do battles and you get your daily rewards of whatever that looks like. But then with a Battle Pass, there are other sort of benchmarks of success that are given to you on a daily, a weekly, and a season, or even a monthly, or even a year basis. So these are different targets, not just daily focus. Let's claim this while we're here. Not just a daily focus, but actually think of it this way. Within the context of Splinterlands, you're working on your daily focus. You're earning daily chests. Simultaneously, every time you use a sneak monster in the game, it tracks it. When you play 50 sneak monsters, you get 1 battle pass point. When you play 100 sneak monsters, you get another battle pass point. When you play 500, and the game is tracking your utilization of the sneak effect in the game, and then do that for every skill set and ability. And maybe for this day, it's 5 different skills you're tracking, and tomorrow it's 5 different ones. And for this season, it's, you know, how many times do you win you have to win 5 matches in super sneak rule set, or in, you know, arrows out rule set. And so as any sort of formula that you can imagine can be implemented. It's really just this idea that there's a new battle, there's a new carrot put in front of the player, which is saying, hey, if you accomplish this today, we'll give you some sort of appreciation. It might be a skin, it might be a token, it might be a pack, it might be a card. We don't really know. And they've said that they probably would not be financial assets. Probably they'll be just like superficial assets, like skins for your monsters that you can't necessarily sell, but that you can enjoy. And so people would spend X amount of dollars for the Battle Pass, and you would earn points, NFTs, accessories, maybe non-financial benefits that you can possibly display within a virtual award room or trophy room. And so that's what it is in a nutshell. It's this essentially adding complexity to the gaming experience by way of creating new sort of carrots that you can chase after. And instead of just your daily quest, there's now maybe 5 or 50 extra things you can do. And again, the rewards are going to largely be non-financial. So that's what it is. That's what a Battle Pass is. Other games use these things. And one last thing I'll share with you for anybody who's listening and maybe never heard of this thing. Battle Pass, one of the cool things about other games that offer Battle Passes is that they will reward you with some kind of in-game token. And that's, I'm thinking Apex Legends, and that's not crypto at all. But that token then can be used to replenish your Battle Pass. Now, it can also be used to buy new skins. And so at the end of the 2 weeks or month after your Battle Pass ends, whatever the duration of time happens to be, you then have to decide, okay, I played the game, I earned my tokens, I earned my NFTs, I earned my whatever non-financial rewards they're going to give me. And now, do I renew for another Battle Pass season or month or quarter of the year? Or do I use those points to then get it for free? That's often one little gimmick within these things that allows you to keep chaining them together for next to nothing extra. But the trick is, if you do that, you then can't spend those tokens on that skin, on that card, on that other in-game resource or asset that they might sell it for. So those are just thoughts on what it could look like, but it ultimately boils down to some reoccurring cost that you would pay to receive extra sort of game mechanics that you can chase after in order to unlock resources or assets that other people won't. That's what a Battle Pass is. Thanks for the comment. And let's see if this one's a long one, because I haven't spoken to you in so long, Harry. Wayne, another video idea. Maybe you could do a top 5 or top 3 of each Chaos Legion Legion reward card and Riftwatcher cards based on current price versus in-game utility. You know what? I can already tell that's got to be its own video. That's a fun one. I haven't done that in forever. Maybe I will do that, Harry, especially since prices have fallen recently. That could be interesting. So I appreciate you, dude. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope you have an amazing day. Drop your comments below. God bless.